Hi, welcome back to Out of My Closet. I'm Jennifer. How are you all doing? Hope you guys are doing well wherever you are. And I hope you guys have been enjoying my videos. Today, actually, I had a subscriber before my machine went down out replacing zippers. So I'm gonna try to work on that today, seeing that my machine is back up and running. Yes. All right. So for one, there's zippers in all different kinds of garments, skirts, blouse, dresses, pants, you know, tutus. I did replace a zipper in my granddaughter's tutu the other day, so that just came back to my memory. Well, there's some zippers that are installed that looks more complicated than others, from the manufacturers. And so I am not going to even pretend that I know it all when it comes on to zippers, because there are also different types of zippers. There are heavy duty zippers and there are lightweight zippers and there are plastic zippers and metal zippers. So it can get technical. So I kind of just stick to what I am used to, stick to what I can handle. With some things, replacing zippers, we may have to take it to more like a dry cleaners, places like those. And so this is a skirt that I have, and I'm hoping for my subscriber that this will help. Because like I said, there are just so many different ways of installing zippers and where you're installing it and stuff like that. So with this here, I'm gonna pretend that this zipper broke, right? Okay, so with this, I'm going to remove the zipper and reinstall it. So in this skirt, the zipper is actually installed, I would say, on the outside of the fabric, meaning you can just pull it off from here. But the thing about it is it does have a facing on the waist of the skirt, and so it's gonna take a little bit of work to remove that, then replace that. So I know with some garments the zipper is like on the inside of this part here, making it hard to remove, so the whole thing is kind of like in between, you know so yeah, what I'm gonna use is this eyebrow razor. Normally we use it to shape our eyebrows, right? So I'm gonna use this. This is what, hold on one second, before I even thought of this, using this here, but seam remover, but with what I'm familiar with. So I'm gonna start with using this and go under here and just remove this part right here. So let's see. They install these zippers as if they're never ever going to go bad. So in this case, there's also a stitch on the very top of the skirt that I'm gonna have to remove as well. You also want to make sure when you're removing the zipper with the razor that you're not cutting at the fabric. You're finding the thread and you're concentrating on cutting the thread itself. Okay, so you're going in between pulling away at the fabric, you know, the best you can maneuver it. So I'm holding like one part of the fabric with this hand and these fingers, and holding this at the same time, and just pulling away at the fabric while putting the razor in between and focusing on where the thread is. So that's how I'm removing this facing here. Okay, so when I got up to the top here, what I did was to use the scissors and just cut away right there where the zipper is attached under this stitch. Because if I remove the stitch, you know, that's on the very top of the skirt. And so that just looks a little bit odd. So I'm cutting away at the zipper using a scissors. So I had to pretty much cut the zipper away from the waist of the skirt. Just use a scissor and cut this away. So fortunately, there was some room between this little metal piece and the top of the zipper, right? You always want to make sure that this metal piece is intact, because when you zip the zipper, you need a stopper for it. Okay? So if you're replacing your zipper and removing it from the garment, you want to make sure that you're not cutting away this metal piece on the top. It's on both sides of the zipper. And after cutting away at the very top of the zipper, I was able to just pull on the zipper. So now I can remove the zipper from the skirt. Okay. Can do it from the top, or we can use that seam remover now and just start removing. See if, you know, whatever works, the seam remover or the razor, you know, whatever works. I'll go ahead and try the seam remover and just see if that will work as well. Because this zipper is installed a little differently and a little more technical than the norm, so I'm just trying different things that will, you know, work more efficiently. So you can pull at the zipper sometimes on some certain fabrics and it will just come right off depending on how it's sewn. Or in this case, I'm using this to go up under the thread, the seam remover, and just pulling it, you know, as I go. And that seems to be working. Yeah, on some fabric it would just pull right off, you know, but this one is really sewn in. So what I'm gonna do, because all this extra threading and all that is under the facing, I'm gonna go ahead and trim up my fabric so I don't have any problems when I'm sewing on my sewing machine, because as you guys know, I just fixed my sewing machine and it really had some thread that I didn't even know about that was under the feeder of the machine. So yeah, you just want to remove any of that thread where you remove the zipper from, the broken zipper. Just make sure you remove all those thread and trim up whatever areas you need to trim up before you replace the new zipper. Here is the section where the zipper was removed from. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned that up. Here's the facing part of it. I trimmed that area on both sides. And then I am going to go ahead and replace the zipper. So in this case, this is the zipper. You want to make sure you're getting the right measurement. And even if you get a longer zipper, you know, you can always make adjustments when you put the zipper in. Okay. You want to line your, oh, sorry. In this case, we're going to put it under here, because this part is going to flap back over here. Okay. So in this case here, what I would do is to use a basting thread first and hold the zipper in place. So I didn't double my thread like I usually do, because this is a temporary stitch just to hold the zipper in place. So I did put a knot on one part of the thread. So I'm holding my zipper close to the edge of my skirt where the opening is for the zipper, and I am basting it using a needle and thread. So that will give me a good handle on sewing on the sewing machine. Okay, so I'm getting to the top of the skirt. You want to make sure that your zipper is lined up with the top of the waist of the skirt. Okay, so as you can see on this side here, my zipper is temporarily sewn in its place. What I'm doing here is to lay my zipper and my skirt flat so that I can get the zipper to be in its right position when I, complete the job. Okay, so it looks like it would work even if I zip the zipper all the way up. Okay, so as you can see, it's laying nice and flat there. I'm gonna zip this back a little bit down while holding the skirt and the zipper together. I will start on the other side to baste that zipper in. So I'll just keep zipping it down as I go along, so I'm getting a good handle on it. All right, when I get to here, when I get to where the zipper, the actual, this part is, I'm gonna move that out the way, maneuver my hand under the fabric, and continue to baste. All right, so ultimately, This basting should, you know, if you were to even use your hand, that basting thread, you know, is just how your zipper should look. Just how it's holding it. You know, you can zip it down, zip it back up. And remember, these little metal pieces are important, because if not, your zipper will just run right off its track. Okay? All right. So we're gonna go ahead and sew our zipper on the machine. So there is a presser foot like this metal piece here, specifically made for zippers. I am not going to change it off though, but because I've worked with this kind of presser foot before for a zipper, but you just want to make sure that you're keeping your needle away from the teeth of the zipper right there, so it doesn't damage your needle. So as you can see, the ease of, you know, stitching the zipper, because it's already holding with the basting thread. And ideally you would want to use the color that matches your fabric here, but one smart subscriber actually asked me before to use a different color thread when doing demonstrations. So like this, you know, I'm trying to use a lighter thread on the darker fabric. All right, so I'm gonna pull my needle all the way up. I'm taking the needle out of the fabric. I'm gonna release my presser foot and bring this part of the zipper up out of the way. Then I'm gonna go back. Give your thread some room so that it doesn't get busted onto the needle. Or you know what, the easiest thing to do is just to go ahead and cut this, seeing that I lifted it up. Let me just go ahead and cut this where it's sewing, and then I will pull the thread through, making sure it's in the right position. Bring the thread back under the presser foot and proceed. All right, so when you come, when you're getting down to the end of the opening where to place the zipper, you want to make sure you stop, you know, and pay attention to this metal piece that's at the bottom. The same thing at the top of the zipper with that metal piece is also at the bottom, so it doesn't run off its track. All right, so we're going to attempt the other side of the zipper. I'm going to pull the zipper back down. Begin on this side. And you want to start out very slow. All this while, you're trying to stay away from the teeth of the zipper. I'm going to do that same thing again. I'm going to go ahead and just cut my thread. Just don't want any accidents taking place. And then I will pull my zipper up out of the way and then start again in that same stitch where I stopped. And then I'm continuing. So I'm coming down to the end, and with this up, just to be safe, I'll just roll my hand wheel on the side. Instead of using the motor, I'm just rolling my hand wheel on the side here so I don't have an accident breaking my needle. I'm gonna go ahead and trim my thread. And ideally it would have been a dark colored thread to match the skirt, but because of demonstration I'm just showing you with this colored thread. And then this is where you want to go back and stitch your facing here and here. When you get to here, you want to stitch across to secure your zipper. So you're going to make a stitch across here, but avoiding this metal piece right here. So you're going to stitch it about here. Okay. All right. So just to explain how you stitch the bottom part of the zipper, you want to make sure you zip the zipper up, move this piece away from your presser foot. You want to go below where that metal piece is right there. And then you're going across the base of the zipper. You want to do a reverse, and you're going very slow because of that metal piece right there. Okay, and then do a reverse to tack it. Trimming that up. Okay, so that would be the base part. The base part of your zipper. Then on this particular skirt, I'm going to lap the top of my zipper under the facing and then stitch. Okay, and you also want to give a tack on the top of your stitch up here. You know, when you start off with your zipper stitch, you want to make sure you tack it. Now, if you are skeptical about using the sewing machine to do that tack, you can always tack it with a needle and thread after you're finished. Maybe the same for here too, because you know it can get tricky sometimes and your needle can break on these areas. So to be safe, you can always use your hand to sew it, but the major part is sewn there, so your zipper should be secure. After that, also you want to go ahead and remove your basting stitch if that's the method that you used. So you'd be removing these big stitch in there. I was able to sew the facing back, and there it is. All right. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comments. Okay, so I hope that helped. That was my first time actually removing a zipper that has the facing on the garment, so that was a challenge for me as well. But it all worked out, and all else fails, you can just, you know, pull the thread, the sewing out, and redo it. So, you know, just redo it until you get it right. But all right, see you guys on the next video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time. Bye.